Rightio then, hello and welcome to this episode of the Manchester United preview show. And well, rightio zaman van merhaba ve Manchester United ingüsterim şoverinen bin birjenemine hiç geletsiniz vir Türk işçiliklerine merhaba. Perfect, and hello and welcome to this episode of the Manchester United preview show. And that was just a heads up for all the Turkish viewers. Obviously, this is a preview show not only about Manchester United, this is also a preview show about Galatasaray, who we are obviously going to talk about in this preview show as well. Here we are then, big day, Champions League, back at Old Trafford is what we want to see. Based off the performances though, it might not be at Old Trafford for much longer, but for the time being, let's savour it as we can do. This is what we want to do. We want to savour these moments in the Champions League. And the fact that we have a big game coming up soon, I have to talk about it, don't I? I have to talk about it. But rightio then, let's get underway and let's talk about match day 2 of the UEFA Champions League. So here we are then, match day 2 of the UEFA Champions League brings us home to Old Trafford in Manchester. And actually, ironically, you might be able to see where I sit there. Just there. But, yeah, I mean, it is a big game, this. Man United v Galatasaray. Manchester United are currently last in the Group A, obviously, behind Bayern Munich, Copenhagen and Galatasaray. Galatasaray obviously drew 2-2 to their game against Copenhagen, which I will talk about a little bit later regarding Galatasaray's form in, well, in the Turkish League and in the Champions League. But yeah, this is pretty much have to be a must-win game there for Manchester United. We have to win this game. Otherwise, there will be more pressure piling on Erik ten Hag. And to be fair, I think he's under a bit of pressure already following that loss. I don't think he needs more pressure. And obviously, adding what's going on with the takeover news and so on, I don't think we all want that shambles. So I think entirely, Manchester United have to win this game. Because, well, one, to keep himself in the Champions League, and two, so we don't end up getting screwed in later games to come, because we are not in a great place at the minute. Manchester United obviously losing against Crystal Palace says it all. Bayern Munich, I tell you what, I do not know how that game finished 4-3, but it did. But yeah, there is some room and effort what Manchester United needs to improve in. And it's also the same for Galatasaray. Obviously, Galatasaray conceded 2 goals against Copenhagen, so they know that defensively they will have to be better. Okan Buruk will have to take his team to the next level to be better, potentially, if they can beat Manchester United. Because that is just basically how you beat Manchester United. Defend. Simple as that. If you can defend for 90 minutes, you should be able to beat Manchester United. So that is what Okan Buruk should really be saying to his members. But, well, let's see what can happen. Let's get it underway. First of all, with the fact file, bring it on. So here we are. This is Galatasaray's, well, fact file for this game. So country, they are from Turkey, or, well, as other people say it, Turkey or Turkey. Obviously, they changed their name, so I don't really know what to say. Honours-wise, well, they are the first club in Turkey to win the Europa League. They won it in the 1999-2000 season. They beat Arsenal, ironically, Galatasaray, to become the first, well, Turkish team to win a European trophy. So that in itself has to be quite something. They did win the UEFA Super Cup and all that same year. They've won the Turkish League 23 times. They are the most successful club. They are the biggest club in Turkey. That's why they've got a lot of following, obviously, from abroad. And, well, talking about that, it is the 17th time in the Champions League group stage, which doesn't seem that much. However, when you put it into comparison, it's 2 more than any Turkish club. So that means, like, Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, Başakşehir, Bursaspor, they have at least competed in the Champions League, but they haven't competed in a level where Galatasaray always do. They always compete in the Champions League. They are a European team now. If you would think Europe, well, you think of like Barcelona's and Real Madrid. But you also think of the Galatasarays and all there, who will win the Turkish League and have the best squad, the best manager, and the best recruitment in Turkey. And so on. The stadium is obviously the Rams Park. They keep changing their stadium. I mean, originally it was called the Ali Sami Yen, but when United did play Galatasaray in like around the 1990s, when they had that banner which said "Welcome to Hell," that was the Ali Sami Yen. That was the original Ali Sami Yen. Until they moved to this stadium, which was originally the Ali Sami Yen Stadium, But, well, they've had some changes to it. They called it the NEF Stadium and so on. But recently they've called it the Rams Park, which personally for me is better, the fact that it's called the Rams Park instead of saying some Turkish word, because, well, I am not Turkish. The capacity, though, is 52,280, so it's quite a big stadium. It's one of the biggest stadiums in Turkey. Well, it's not the biggest one, because, well, that is the Atatürk Olympic Stadium, which always, well, gives me flashbacks to the fact that Liverpool and City have both won there. The manager, like I said, Okan Buruk, he is the manager of Galatasaray. Ironically, he was the same manager that beat us with Istanbul Başakşehir, which is quite embarrassing, but, well, he's capable of beating United. So he could easily do this today. Let's see. The best player, however, for my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt, Mauro Icardi. When he played for Inter Milan, he was one of the best strikers in the world. And he were. Mauro Icardi, at Inter Milan, he was one of the best strikers in the world. He kept scoring for fun. He kept winning Serie A, Golden Boots, and so on. Lautaro Martinez, he's replacing Mauro Icardi. Because Mauro Icardi has done a lot of work there for Inter Milan. Then he had some spells where, obviously, he binned him, they moved, and I think ever since Romelu Lukaku joined Inter Milan, he left. So then they had a spell at Paris Saint-Germain, which, well, went okay-ish. Not as well as it were Inter, though. Then he went to Galatasaray on a loan last season, won the league with them. Obviously, is a hero in Istanbul. Well, one part, anyway. Then, obviously, he went back to PSG. Galatasaray said, you know what, we'll pay the money. And that's what happened. So Mauro Icardi is pretty much a kind of hero in, well, their title win last season for Chimbabom. But, well, that is it. That is all it is. That is Galatasaray Fact File, piled by me. Let's talk about the proper stuff now. So I'm going to go back to the injury list here because, well, we've got added injuries. We've got more added injuries there, which is, well, bad for me to tell you. Lisandro Martinez is put on here because, well, he is injured. Martinez, he did have surgery today on his foot, so I'm guessing he will be out for like a couple of months. Hopefully not, but I think he will be out for like 3 months, which will be a bit of a shame there for our, well, defence to actually hold on. And then Sergio Reguilon, he's also added onto this list, I think. I don't know why. He might have an illness. I don't know if it's particularly an injury or if it's not. But he didn't play last game and he's not played today. So part of me thinks it's more than meets the eye with Reguilon comparing to if he is ill or if he isn't ill. Part of me thinks he's kind of injured a little bit. But, well, we don't know. But add them two on this injury list. Because I tell you what, Manchester United's turned into a hospital lately with how many injuries we're getting. So now I'm going to talk about, well, the starting lineup, what I think United will go for. So, obviously, I think we will go for Andre Onana in goal. There has been some reports of playing Bayindir, and it would be pretty funny if we did play Bayindir against Galatasaray, because, well, he played for Fenerbahce for about 2 seasons, so that would be quite funny. But, yeah, that's what I will go for. I will go for Andre Onana. The defence, however, I think it's going to be the similar defence as it were against Palace. I could see a bit of changes, potentially Lindelof going on the left, Johnny Evans going in where Lindelof is, so that we have Varane, Lindelof, Evans and Dalot. However, I still think Sofiane Amrabat will play against Galatasaray. I think, obviously, it will be hard for him to stop, obviously, the likes of Wilfried Zaha and Dries Mertens and so on. But I think Amrabat will stay in that position. I think it will be the same defence as it were with Amrabat, Varane, Lindelof and Dalot. Casemiro then I think will keep his place there in the CDM role, because, well, why not? Then I think the two midfielders we will have is Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes. I thought Mason Mount played well against Crystal Palace. He was one of the only players that did actually play well, for my opinion. Bruno Fernandes, he was a bit of basically like an isolated man against Palace, thinking, where am I going to go? It was like that, no one knew where we were going. Then I'm going to go there for the forward line. I think Rashford will be dropped. I think it's best if he is dropped, since he had an absolute shocking performance against Palace. He was there. He was basically like a dead man walking. He was there, and honestly, every single time Rashford got the ball, you feel like, hang on, this attack isn't going to happen. Rashford was a player who I wanted to get subbed off against Palace, and luckily he did. So, because of that, I think he will be replaced. I think Garnacho will play. And I also think Anthony will play. Obviously, Ten Hag did say today, saying that Anthony is likely to start tomorrow. So I think they will do. I think Anthony will start there for a wing. Makes a little bit of a replacement, for my opinion. Then, obviously, Garnacho playing on the right and so on. Then obviously Rasmus Højlund, for my opinion, will be the one going up front like he always is. And I think there is a goal. I think he can score a goal, against Galatasaray. I can feel a Rasmus Højlund goal against Galatasaray. I don't know why, but Galatasaray's defence hasn't been good lately, so I can see him scoring a goal just like that. And that is my starting 11 of who I think will be playing against Galatasaray on Tuesday. And now let's compare the forms between both of the two teams. So first of all, well, you can probably imagine Manchester United would have a worse form than Galatasaray because, well, Galatasaray playing an easier league compared to Manchester United do. Galatasaray playing the Turkish league, they're one of the best teams in Turkey. Manchester United are in the Premier League where they are one of, not the worst, but they are one of not so great teams at the particular minute. But, well, let's have a look at Manchester United's form first. So, well, we lost 3-1 there to Brighton, and to be honest, we got absolutely battered against Brighton. They absolutely demolished us the full 90 minutes, more or less. Well, the full 70 minutes, 20 minutes were all right. Then against Bayern Munich, we lost that by 4-3. And to be honest, it should have never been a 4-3 game. We should have got absolutely pounced there. Then we played Burnley. We got ourselves back on track, obviously winning 1-0. Bruno Fernandes there with a goal, Johnny Evans there with a good assist. And that was good. But then, well, we won again against Palace 3-1. People started to think, 3-0. People started to think, hang on, can United move forward here? Can United actually get better, the fact that we're winning? No, the short answer is no. The fact that we lost 1-0 there to Palace at home, and because of that has made Erik ten Hag being a little bit of pressure. Well, you have to win games, otherwise if you don't, then the pressure is going to be absolutely massive, and, well, you don't want that as a manager, do you? Now let's have a look at Galatasaray. Galatasaray have won 4, lost, drew 1. And first of all, let's have a look in the league where they did beat Samsunspor by 4-2. And the problem is there with Galatasaray, they concede a lot of goals. They can concede goals. And, well, you can't have that in the Champions League. Defence is a big part there in the Champions League. Galatasaray do not have that. Then they drew 2-2 there to Copenhagen. Copenhagen were 2-0 up before Didi produced a wonder show there in Istanbul and made it 2-2 to make Galatasaray get that point. Then we played Istanbul Başakşehir, who aren't really that great in the Turkish league. They're about 17th. They did win that one by 2-1. Mauro Icardi there with a goal. Hakim Ziyech there with a goal, who won't be playing actually in this game, which is a little bit of a shame. Then they won 1-0 against Istanbulspor. It is a bit expected that Istanbulspor aren't really the best of sides. Mauro Icardi again there scored a goal. After a penalty, obviously denied, he went up, scored it again. Then they played against Ankaragücü and they won that by 2-1. And, well, that was where Wilfried Zaha got his first goal. And, well, ironically, he was a former United player, weren't he? He plays United next game. What are the chances? But, yeah, this is me comparing the form there between Galatasaray and Manchester United. So, because of that, this leads to the score and what I think the score will be. And to be honest, I do think it will be a tighter game than a lot of people do expect. I think, obviously, with Manchester United, we are not in good form at the minute. Galatasaray are in good form at the minute. However, they are obviously not a good defensive team. They more rely on the attack. And with Mauro Icardi, Dries Mertens, Wilfried Zaha to all get the potential goals. So I think that will be a big factor there for this game. And I think altogether our defence doesn't look that great. Galatasaray's defence doesn't look that great. But I think it'll create a very tight game between what will happen. And I do think Galatasaray will score a goal in this game because I think they are capable of scoring that against our defence. However, I don't think it will be enough there for Galatasaray to win the game. I think altogether we will have enough pretty much to win the game. So I'm going to say it will be a 2-1 Manchester United win. It will be a tight game. I thought at first, will it be 1-1? But then I thought going into it, I think Manchester United will win because, well, Old Trafford was a fortress, not really now. But, well, I still think United will get the job done at Old Trafford. So Alex Ferguson once said you have to win your home games in the Champions League so that then you can have a good chance of qualifying. And I do believe we will win some home games. And I think we will beat Galatasaray on this occasion. So I am going to say it will be Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 1, like I said before. And I think Rasmus Højlund will get a goal there for Manchester United. Wilfried Zaha always scores against Manchester United, so I'm saying he will score for Galatasaray. And then I think, why not I think Alejandro Garnacho will get on the score sheet. I think he will find a way to score in the bottom right corner. This is my prediction. Bottom right corner, he will go basically off a little finesse shot, skill a few defenders, strike, have a shot, have a goal. So my opinion, it will go like that, and I will think Manchester United will get their first 3 points of this group. Hopefully they do anyway. They should do. So just like that, man, we will get going and we will go there for this episode of this previous show. As I will get going, I will go see you soon. Stay safe. Talking to you then in a while. See ya and bye bye.